So thanks for taking time to chat. I wanted to start off with having you tell us a little bit about yourself, like who you are and what you do at Rubica.
Ooh, well, I get to lead marketing at Rubica. So my job is to work with really smart people to tell our story, get us out there, really humanize cybersecurity.
Okay.
Um, a lot of our competition is, very enterprise focused, very serious. You don't get to ever see a human, and we get to bring the human side.
Okay.
And a little bit about me. Wow. I've been working at different startups, helping them grow for like the last 5 jobs, I'd say.
Yeah.
So this has been really fun because Rubica has such an awesome culture and big problem we're trying to solve.
Nice. Thanks. So more importantly, though, you have some notoriety, Emily, because you have won the Cyber Baller of the Month not once, not twice, but 3 times in the last year and a half. So can you talk about that? Like, what does it take to become a cyber baller?
Well, I didn't know much about cybersecurity when I started, so I really have had to learn a lot about what to look out for. And something that's awesome about the InfoSec team is y'all train us of what to spot. So what I mean, now it's like a game of like, what are these sneaky hackers trying to do? How are they trying to get into my inbox or um, mess with some of our cloud programs or whatever it is. So it's kind of like the running joke of who can get the weirdest one or the one that's like most likely to get you to click.
Yeah.
Um, and so it's been fun to just send like stuff to Ash and joke around with, look what they did this time.
Nice. The one that I like is fake Fran, because there's always a fake Fran trying to
There's
like,
always a fake Fran.
yeah, that one's pretty comical. So the thing that I asked Brandon, so obviously we're all in quarantine, we're working from home. I mean, you kind of had like a similar like come into the office for a few days, then remote a few other days, but now we're all just at home. So talk about what that's been like. Has it been easy? Has it been hard? Like, what do you miss about the office?
Well, I definitely miss the banter around
Yeah.
the office and the joking around and learning more about what other teams are doing. Um, and I miss lunch conversations and hearing about people's families more.
Yeah.
We do some of that in the like special events we hold where you actually get to talk to some people that maybe you wouldn't in an everyday life. I don't miss the commute.
Yeah.
I love getting to hear baby giggles throughout the day while I'm home. So
Yeah.
I think there's definitely pros and cons, and I'm excited for our distanced team lunch coming up so we can see some smiling faces from other teammates.
Nice. So I wanted to talk to you specifically. So it was pretty exciting that we were on the Seattle Business Magazine's 100 Best Companies to Work For. I mean, that's awesome. Like
It's a
we're a
really big deal.
startup. So how do you think we got there? Like, what is it about Rubica that I guess attracts that notoriety or makes people excited to work here?
Rubica is a really, really special culture, and it's funny because people will ask me like, "How do you describe working at Rubica?" And the first thing I say is healthy, which
Mhm.
is not usually a word you'd use to describe a company.
Yeah.
But I've worked at a lot of different places, and something that's really special about Rubica is the cohesion and the practice what you preach.
Right.
So it's not to say that we don't ever disagree, and we actually encourage people to talk about kind of if they have a differing opinion or they have a new piece of data or there's a discrepancy between what we're seeing and what the customer is saying and how do we resolve that, and that conflict is really beautiful.
Hmm.
What's special about Rubik is it's always done with respect and trust. Like we know each person has each other's back. There's no
Yeah.
like politics that you have to deal with. There's no like, how do I make it your idea? It's really just like bring your best self. We
Hmm.
need you to bring your best self. We need you to be asking the tough questions. We need you to make us better. And
Yeah.
we're going to respect how you do that and come to, I mean, ultimately, we have to make a decision of which way to go.
Right.
But it's done by listening to other people and really respecting all the different backgrounds, experiences. Like we all come at cybersecurity from a very different lens, and that's important because our customers do.
Right.
So I think, I mean, getting on that list is a really big deal. I mean, 100 companies out of all of Washington, like think how many companies there are in Washington, right? So most companies don't get on it the first time they apply.
Right.
Everyone in our company, because we're on the smaller side, literally everyone at the company had to take the survey. So if a few people are really unhappy, like you're not making that list,
Right.
right?
Right.
So it says a lot about, I mean, we have a DEI team that you are on, and we listen to people. You're always asking for feedback of what can we do better.
Yeah.
And I think, we encourage people to be really honest too. So if we weren't ready to be on that list, we wouldn't be on it. So I'm super proud of the team, and I hope it helps us attract even more amazing people as we grow.
For sure. You mentioned something there where having each other's backs. I think I even use that phrasing in when I do interviews, and
Nice.
people are kind of like caught off guard, like, really? Like, do you really have? And I was like, no, yeah, like I got Emily's back, she's got mine. Like, we may disagree on stuff, but like at the end of the day, we're on the same team, and that's very different than other other places I've worked because um, I've worked at some unhealthy places,
Yeah.
kind of going back to your healthy description, and it's just so um, like refreshing, and like you don't have that like weight or burden on you when you work for a company like that, and that's it's very special, and again, it's a team effort. It's not one person. Um,
Well, I think you and I are a perfect example, right? My job is literally to push every boundary, right?
yeah,
And take risks and try stuff and test things. And your job is to make sure we are buttoned up, we're dialed in, there's no risk,
yeah,
right? And so for the two of us to work together, we both have to make a lot of compromises. And then we both know there's areas that the other person can't compromise, and we have to respect that. Like there's certain things, no matter how hard I try, you will not let me push certain, and I get it because I understand
yeah,
why. You
yeah,
always are explaining why, and then I'll share stuff on my side of here's why we're trying to do this thing, and if we can't do it the way I suggest, you'll find another way, and your
mm,
team will find, like, well, we can't do it that way because of X, Y, and Z reason, but what if we did it this way? And it's like, great, that works. So it's the fact that our two teams can work, I mean, literally, we probably work closer than any other teams.
yeah.
I think that it is a perfect example of, how we make this work.
Yeah, for sure. So very similar to Brandon, you're coming up on a 2-year anniversary. So I mean, we've been in different offices. We've
Mhm.
had growth. So what has it been like? I mean, 2 years, that may seem like a short amount of time, but we've done a lot. We've, gone through a lot. Like, what has it been like for you? What has it been like eye-opening? Have you learned anything about yourself throughout this time at Rubica?
Ooh, well, I've also gone through a lot of personal changes, so it's
Sure.
kind of like all of the above. I think it's been really fun to watch the team stay together as we pivot. We've made some really dramatic pivots because we're trying to figure out the market. I mean, everyone needs what we do, but
Hmm.
who needs it the most the first?
Right.
And so we started on the consumer route, probably a little early on that side. And now we've gone with the shift to remote work and everyone working from home and using the same devices for work and personal. We're seeing that there's such an opportunity to protect the endpoints, if we want to get more technical, but protect people while they're at home working on personal. So to get to make these pivots, because the business needs it, and there's opportunity to serve people in different ways, has been really cool to kind of leverage our strengths. And Yeah, so I mean, I feel like I had to go from zero to like try to learn about cybersecurity and
Yeah.
who needs it and why, and how do we speak to our audience, and partner with all the technical experts at the company to make that happen. So Yeah, it's been quite the journey. Our team has kind of grown in so many ways and yet always stayed working together on
Yeah.
this common mission.
So my, thinking back to 2 years ago, like my first Emily memory is like I wasn't in some of the loops where you got to meet some of the team, and so I remember telling my wife, like, I don't know about this person. Like I see stuff, seeing YouTube videos, like did some Google searching because of course you got to look at who's coming onto your team.
Yeah.
I remember when I met you, you said, "Oh, you must be Jose Miguel," and I was like, "Okay, we're gonna be friends." So I
Yeah, I
remember
remember
that.
you introduced yourself as JM, and I was like, is it really JM, or is it because no one can say your name correctly?
All right, so let me get my timer here. So the one to beat is 10.
Okay,
So
I'm not competitive at all, so read them fast.
well, that speaking of being competitive, I forgot to mention you and Marco kicked butt in the push-up challenge.
Yeah.
So how are your arms? Like, what was your strategy?
Oh my God. Well, first of all, this was not a very healthy challenge. 3 minutes of max push-ups twice a day. Oh my God. I had like scabs on my knees
Oh no.
and my arms were gonna fall off. But so Marco is really the all-star, and I was just trying not to lose it for him because he
Yeah,
was doing like in the hundreds.
yeah,
So what I figured out is it's all about breathing. The better I would breathe, the more I could do
yeah,
easier. But really, my strategy was just don't miss one. Because if I were to skip one, I don't know how he would have done even more than he already did. So I
yeah.
was even on vacation doing all these, and my husband's like, "Are you still doing push ups?" I'm like, "I'm not going to let Marco down."
It's good stuff. Okay. All right. So 10 is the one to beat. We got 20 questions. And I also have a bonus question if you just happen to get there. So
Okay, here we
we'll,
go.
we'll get started. All right. Ice cream or cake?
Ice cream.
Who is the most stylish person at Rubica?
Raven.
What animal do you relate to the most?
Jaguar.
What is the best NSYNC song?
Oh, bye, bye, bye.
Can you sing a line from Bye Bye Bye?
Oh, yeah. Bye, bye.
Favorite marketing quote?
Marketing quote? Uh, Marketing is art and science.
First app you open in the morning?
Email.
What's a new skill or hobby that you picked up in quarantine?
Does taking care of my baby count?
Describe Rubica in one word.
Powerful.
Who was your celebrity crush growing up?
Justin Timberlake.
Who at Rubica is most likely to bake something?
Nancy.
Favorite athlete?
LeBron James.
Who is your bestie at Rubica?
Bestie?
Yeah.
Well, you.
Who would play you in a movie?
Reese Witherspoon.
Reese Witherspoon. All right, so that one came right at the end, so we'll count it. So that's 14.
That's it?
That's it.
Wow.
Okay, so here's the bonus question because we had a discussion about this. Who do you think is the funniest person at Rubica? So Brandon said it was
It's
Tyson.
definitely Ash.
Ash?
Yeah.
Okay, explain why.
Okay. Because she always has those like snarkiest, funniest comments. Like I crack and okay, you have great gifts, but her gifts and all the cats, always I'm laughing.
The amount of like cat memes and gifs in each presentation that she does is like vast. Like that's a deep library.
It's pretty beautiful. As a cat lover myself.
That's awesome. Okay, so if people are interested in Rubica, where should they go to get information?
I mean, Rubica.com has the most, but also Carrie posts really interesting links. I mean, if you really want to learn about the industry, follow our LinkedIn page or
Okay.
Twitter because she
Yeah.
finds like really interesting industry news.
Okay. Awesome. Well, appreciate you taking time to chat, and we'll catch up later.
Sounds good. Bye,
All
my
right.
friend.
See ya.